The politics in Nigerian environment is very complicated. You can hardly predict where the wind blows at every point in time, and it's so confusing. Sometimes it's hard to comprehend, and you don't know where to pitch your tent. Because, as you are aware, most recently, a few days ago, the Supreme Court has granted judgment in favor of Peter Obi's camp in the Labour Party. In fact, the judgment effectively sacked Labour Party chairman as the Julius Abure as the chairman of Labour Party. This battle has been going on for a long time. As you are aware, there was a time the INEC refused to recognize Julius Abure as the chairman in their meeting of political party chairmen. They had to, excuse him out of the hall. Also, Labour Party has had an internal problems on leadership and other things, and this has led to a lot of party members to be very aggrieved. So the past few months and weeks has not been best for Labour Party. As you are aware, this has also led to apathy, a feeling of low morale amongst party members, unhappiness, and going to 2027 coming, there has to be a united front. But Labour Party seem not to be putting that united front. Someone like Kenneth Okonkwo, a Labour Party member, decamped, left Labour Party because he cited that Obi was not strong enough. And in that means, he meant that Obi wasn't strong enough to lead the party. That was very significant because at that time, Julius Abure just won a court judgment from the appeal court that, gave him, the power to remain as the chairman after what Obi and his camp did to get Nenadi Usman as the substantive caretaker committee chairman of the party. The court ruled in favor, the appeal court actually ruled in favor of Julius Abure. And once that judgment, was given, lots of members were not happy anymore. They had been decamped. People have been decamping here and there. A lot of senators have decamped from the Labour to the APC, from the Labour to the PDP. That is alignment and realignment because the Labour Party as a party seemed not to get its act on ground. Also, most recently, the Labour Party in Abia State, that is the governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, held local government elections. And if you are aware, there was no Labour Party, in the local government. It was another party, should be ZLP or so, that was mandated to occupy the seat of local government. And that was because there was a fear that Labour was going down and there was no need to add more seats to Labour that is already on a free fall. So this and lots of things has led to this point where we are right now on the Supreme Court judgment that just effectively removed Abure as the chairman. This news comes at a time where there are coalitions and considerations here and there, and Atiku, El-Rufai are having a lot of discussions and Fayemi here and there, and Obi is kind of having his time, taking his time to know what his next move is going to be. And I suspect that he was waiting for the court judgment so that he will know his next big move. That is a very patient political move right there by Peter Obi. It shows that in politics sometimes the wind could blow you left, the wind could blow you right. But it's very important that you do not neglect the wind. And now the wind has blown Obi to the right place, because as it is right now, he is sitting on a very comfortable and a comfortable seat, whether it is for negotiations on a merger, whether it is for internal mechanism of the Labour Party, whether it is being in control of Labour Party, whether it is the merger going on between SDP and PDP. Obi is on the more comfortable negotiation table because he is not naked. He's not on the air, and he's more fit for any alignment that's going to come his way. So I say kudos, congratulations to Peter Obi, congratulations to Labour Party, congratulations to those who have held faith, people like Dalitin Wokocha, people like Nedadi Usman, lots of them out there, people like Alex Oti, who have held faith in the party, believing that everything will turn out good. This is only good for our democracy. And I've always been fighting and say we need viable oppositions for our democracy. And a situation whereby we tend to pan towards the ruling party all the time is so shameful. I really condemn Julius Abure all this while because he knew his tenure has expired, but somehow forced his way. I don't know how he did it, whether it was legal or not, but found himself as a chairman against the will of most of the people in the party. You may have been the chairman of the Labour Party for a while, but that doesn't mean that you own Labour Party. Labour Party is not owned by you. And as a fact, you should know that you cannot just have a firm grip on the party and and don't want to accept democracy internally. People thought you're working for the APC. People said that maybe you are working for the APC. You are just like trying to destroy your party and render it aimless for the next election because of your affiliations with the ruling party. And you won't blame them, because most of the actions you have been doing, it shows that you are not interested in the party survivor. Because if you were interested in the party survivor, you will not have problem with the party leader. The leader of the party is Peter Obi, and the leader is the one that says how the party will move, the way the party will go, because he is the one that sees all. You as a chairman, you are not the leader of the party, and you should listen to the leader of the party at all times for guidance. If you had done so, perhaps you would have been a BOT chairman right now. You would have been in a big position right now in the party. You would have been, a kind of like a big leader in the party in the coming months and years. But it looks now as if Labour Party is going to move on without you. And I saw on Twitter the other day that the Labour Party the Labour Party handle was still saying that you are still in charge of the party. Those ones are just statements. The court cannot rule in a vacuum. If the court has set aside a ruling of the appeal court, it means that it has reversed the judgment, and that means that Peter Obi's caretaker committee, Nedadi Usman, is effectively in control, because as a chairman, you cannot preside over your own election. But definitely speaking, caretaker committee means that there is no substantive chairman now. That means there's going to be a convention in the future. But that move was just to save the soul of the party. So yes, Labour Party does not have a chairman now. A convention is going to be held that's going to pick the chairman of Labour Party, which is still good for democracy. And you can stand for re-election if you want. It is your right to do that. So, but pending then, this is a good move for our democracy. And I thank you, the Supreme Court, for upholding justice in this country. At a time people are feeling afraid, ashamed, or somehow biased on the judgment of the Supreme Court, you have come forth to give this judgment. Thank you very much. And it still shows that you know your job. When you want to do your job, you know your job. It's a big shame that the lower court could not see this thing that the Supreme Court saw, because judgment is judgment. I don't know why they overlooked all the critical issues, because this man's tenure had expired. That is the word. It has expired. And I don't know why a court would overlook that part and try to play games with our intelligence. But thank you very much. Our democracy is gradually taking shape, and 2027 is going to be very, very wonderful, and the days ahead. So I want to congratulate Peter Obi and Labour Party and the people that love democracy in Nigeria. This is a win for our democracy, no matter where you stand, no matter where you are, and coming at a time where we feel that there are no oppositions in Nigeria. God has just found a way to save one for us than going down the drain. Please, our democracy should be protected by all means. The House of Assembly, Senate should please try to protect our democracy and do everything to keep it strong. I am your host, Chinedu, signing out on this video. See you in the next one.